South Africa, April 10th, 1993. A revolutionary leader, a beacon of hope for millions, and a man uncompromising in his beliefs, Chris Hani was brutally assassinated outside his home. To this day, questions linger. Who really killed Chris Hani? Who ordered the hit? And more importantly, why? Stay tuned as we unravel the conspiracies, examine the motives, and connect the dots to uncover the dark truths behind his murder.
We're making no apologies. That's it, so that our people can have access to the land. Equally, we're making no apologies. That's it, food must be free and compulsory. We're also making no apologies. That's it, medical care must be free and compulsory. We shall fight for those demands.
Chris Hani was more than just a leader of the South African Communist Party. And Umkhonto we Sizwe, he was the voice of the oppressed, a man unwilling to compromise on justice and reparations for the atrocities committed under apartheid. But his refusal to back down made him a threat to the apartheid regime, to global superpowers like the United States, and even to certain figures within the ANC itself.
Mr. Nelson Mandela will, within seconds appear, and that'll be the moment the world has been waiting for. There's Mr. Mandela, Mr. Nelson Mandela, a free man taking his first steps into a new South Africa. Mrs. Winnie Mandela next to him, waving to the crowds.
By the early 1990s, South Africa was at a boiling point. The apartheid regime was crumbling, but those in power feared one thing above all: losing their financial empires and facing retribution for decades of oppression. They needed a leader who could calm the storm, someone who could ensure a peaceful transition without upending the existing economic structures.
The first country we approached was the United States of America. We could not even succeed to come close to the government, and they refused to assist us. But Cuba, the moment we appealed for assistance, they were ready to do so, and they did so. Why would we now listen to the Western world when they say we should have nothing to do with Cuba? It's just unreasonable. No human being acts in that particular fashion. Here is the country that was the first to assist us when the West, which had formidable resources, was actually supporting the government. Now you expect us to change our whole approach and to start condemning Cuba for what is supposed to be happening inside the country. No man of principles could ever do that.
Mandela became that leader. Let's consider Mandela's role. Was he chosen because he was willing to compromise, while Hani's fiery determination to demand justice made him too dangerous to those in power? Mandela himself, in an interview with McNeil Lehrer, openly stated that he would never turn his back on nations like Libya and Cuba, countries that supported South Africa's liberation struggle. This defiance of Western powers, especially the United States, paints a complex picture. Could it be that Mandela's leadership was cultivated to pacify the masses while protecting powerful global interests? Then there's Janusz Walusz, the man who pulled the trigger and assassinated Hani. Walusz has now been paroled and returned to Poland, but here's the shocking part. He has never revealed who hired him. Why was he protecting someone? Or was he part of a larger conspiracy that demanded his silence?
Of the multiple reports that the CIA under Kennedy tipped off the apartheid South African regime in 1962 about Mandela's whereabouts. In 1990, the Cox News Service quoted a former U.S. official saying that within hours after Mandela's arrest, a senior CIA operative named Paul Eckel admitted the agency's involvement. Eckel was reported as having told the official, quote, "We have turned Mandela over to the South African security branch. We gave them every detail, what he would be wearing, the time of day, just where he would be. They have picked him up. It is one of our greatest coups."
Let's explore the possible players. The CIA, known for interfering in global politics, had a vested interest in maintaining their geopolitical influence in South Africa. There's evidence suggesting they tipped off the apartheid government about Mandela's activities, leading to his arrest. Could they have also had a hand in eliminating Hani, a leader who openly criticized their policies and alliances?
Socialism per se has not failed But like any other system, it is prone to tragic mistakes by groups and individuals who implement it. And in that case, is no exception. Capitalism has failed in the most catastrophic manner. It has been responsible for the most devastating wars. The First World War, the Second World War. Capitalism has seen the most serious depression in the 30s, where millions of people lost their jobs.
But what about internal conflicts within the ANC? Floyd Shivambu has pointed out that Chris Hani was on track to become South Africa's deputy president in 1994. His popularity within the ANC surpassed that of many other leaders. Could power struggles within the party have led to his demise? Did leaders like Cyril Ramaphosa, Thabo Mbeki, or Jacob Zuma see Hani as a threat to their own ambitions?
Okay, you know Chris
okay,
Hani,
just explain to our audience who didn't see the T-shirt.
Yeah. No. You know Chris Hani?
Yeah.
Chris Hani was assassinated, and the person that assassinated Chris Hani, after relentless efforts to be paroled, he was failing, but he finally succeeded. And the SACP and Chris Hani's family felt that this guy must not get paroled because he has not confessed why he killed Chris Hani. I mean, they killed Chris Hani at the time that we really loved Chris Hani. We still
Panyaza Lesufi has spoken about the mystery surrounding Hani's death. He highlights how Wallace was granted parole without ever disclosing who hired him. This raises another critical question. What is the ANC hiding? Are they protecting the truth to avoid destabilizing the country? Or is it about preserving their grip on power and enjoying the privileges of the state purse? Let's connect the dots. Was it the apartheid regime, fearing retribution, the CIA, protecting American interests, or internal ANC factions, eliminating a rival? The assassination of Chris Hani remains one of the darkest chapters in South Africa's history. His killers may have silenced him, but his legacy lives on. What do you think? Was Hani's murder part of a larger conspiracy, or was it simply the act of a lone gunman? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Share this video with others so we can keep the conversation alive. Don't forget to subscribe to Mzansi Real Talk for more deep dives into South Africa's untold stories. Chris Hani, a revolutionary silenced but a legacy that speaks louder than words.